Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be talking about HBAR, XRP, and XDC. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. I don't want to waste any more time. So first and foremost, in terms of the market, we have been sitting mostly stable. I mean, we've been watching Bitcoin kind of make, some lower highs on the daily, which is not exactly welcoming from my point of view. I'm actually waiting for some lower prices on a few things. When we look at, things for an example around, the current market, I think that we want to see a lot stronger of a move on Bitcoin itself back up into like the high 30s. I've been looking at like 34K to about 39K as a point where we will most likely see that, high bounce, rejection, come back down, scrape some liquidity while, again, the altcoins take a little bit of a back seat because we are still at around 44% on Bitcoin. I've been waiting for 45 to 47% on Bitcoin. It's going to take some time. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm going to utilize the time going forward to fully accumulate a massive bag on some of these utility gems, specifically around HBAR, XRP, XLM, and XDC. So again, right now I'm not too concerned with the current market structure. I've just been kind of looking at some nice buy points. On the 24-hour span, we are seeing some nice green throughout the market, but nothing too significant. On the 7-day span, I've been watching altcoins that are down significantly. And we're not talking about like 20%. We're talking about like 40+%. I have been looking at the graph. I bought the graph when it was down at like 11 cents. It was like over like 40+% down at that time. And I have been, looking at even Curve as well, because Curve has been hitting some nice demand zones on my chart to buy. So definitely looking at a few that I've been wanting to buy. I did add to HBAR at around roughly the 8-cent zone. I will definitely be adding more if we do go a little bit lower. And of course, my buy points on XRP have always been roughly between the 30 to 40 cent region. So with that in mind, let's move on and let's talk about a few things. So we will most likely continue to see this 180 pushed narrative around this market. And what I mean by that is we'll see, something come out, right? For example, is the China, banning, mining in 2021. Now they did a 180 on that, and they just reemerged as the second largest Bitcoin mining hub. We've seen this happen with institutional investors as well. Leading up to about like 2020 to 2021, we've seen a major narrative pushed around crypto saying that it's a scam. We're staying away from it. We're not investing money into it. It's too volatile. It's too this. And then all of a sudden, we've seen JP Morgan, Fidelity, BlackRock, all of these major players joining in on crypto and crypto use cases for their clients. It's funny that we see these massive change narratives, but it also solidifies where we currently are in terms of investors, right? We are investing into cryptocurrencies. Everyone wants to say, hey, the prices could go lower. The prices could go here. The prices could go there. Why would you invest now? Why would you do this? Look at the macro perspective. To me personally, crypto is such an incredible long-term journey. I mean, you look at the prices going back to 2013, 2014. You compare it to 2017, 2018. You compare those prices to now, and it's just insane how profitable you could be on the macro perspective. Everyone wants short-term gains. You want to invest on Monday and get a 10x by Friday. That's just not possible unless you are investing into very, very high-risk investments. But hey, that's just how I play this game. I'm more of a long-term, holder around crypto just because I foresee the potential behind this. Now, also, talking about, macro perspective, NFTs. So I've been telling you guys that NFTs are so much more than just JPEG images. They have a ton of utility around them, but I also do think that it's going to be much bigger than just, JPEG images like on OpenSea. Specifically, Ripple has been mentioning this, royalty ownership of a track by Nas, which is a rap artist. But we do see here, he performed the song Rare at the Grammy Awards. Now, individuals could have owned 0.0143% of the song's streaming royalties at a $50 ownership, or at $5,000, they could have netted 2% or 2.14% of that song's royalties. This is actually pretty significant. When you look at royalties in general and compensation around things like this, I think that it could be very, very interesting to own, royalty percentages of things that are going to provide massive amounts of return. Like, for example, just imagine owning royalties to a YouTube video. just somebody's YouTube video. It could be an artist, it could be, just anyone that's making a YouTube video. I think that when we take a look at NFTs coming to YouTube, I think that that's going to be something pretty interesting to see, because not only does it kick back, incentives to the viewer, but it also does help the, overall YouTuber grow as well. I think that that could be a very significant area to really kind of look at. But I just think that royalties in general and owning percentages of things is where NFTs are essentially going to. Fractionalized ownership is definitely something I've been watching for in terms of NFTs, but also I've been really looking at NFTs as a real, life use case perspective in terms of like healthcare and stuff like that. Now, talking about projects, Stater has officially announced that 500 million HBAR has been fully staked. This is a pretty significant milestone. It's $500 million. I look forward to seeing this continue to grow in terms of demand. I think that staking with HBAR is such a massive opportunity. I've talked to you guys about my concerns around Stater just in terms of the lockup period. I have not significantly put a massive amount into Stater, but that's just my perspective on it. Of course, you do you. But in terms of staking around Hedera, I definitely think that it is a high demand area. Now, going back to April 7th, I talked to you guys a little bit about this. HBAR Foundation launches this $250 million metaverse fund to enhance consumer brand adoption. Well, we've finally seen a few updates from this fund that they did. And this is talking about Miu. It's a Miu Tech, this company that is basically focused on the fashion industry around NFT collateralization and tokenization. And we do see here, when you have a luxury brand, relationships going back 50 plus years and produced 230 million plus labels per year for 700 plus top brands, who do you offer to your clients as Web3 solution? I said Hedera was doing fashion, and we just seen this announcement. This is pretty significant when you look at this company. They also have, when we talk about some pretty cool things, I think that this is very, very cool in terms of the integrations that they're doing. But also, you guys do see bridging offline and online. Miu was born from the desire to build a bridge between the old and the new world by permanently combining the offline with the online through an exclusive range of branding products and opportunities. Miu can transform all the goods of the luxury brand or luxury fashion and design brands into true metaverse interactive objects that are real and precious digital items, which are enjoyable, collectible, and sellable in the metaverse. And this is what I've been talking about, right? Bridging the gap between the physical and digital worlds. This is also why I say Suku is a very significant use case on Hedera as well, because I think this entire process of having this, one-to-one NFT project where you buy something and you get an NFT with that, I think that that's going to be the bridge for the retail demand. I think that it's going to significantly spark a major revolution in terms of the retail area. And of course, you guys can read all about this if you want. They are definitely 100% a project that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. And of course, you guys do see why they chose Hedera, because of sustainability. Sustainability is the biggest key for a lot of these partnerships, and I definitely look forward to seeing this partnership unfold, especially because Miu is a massive giant around the luxury fashion area. You guys do see 50 plus years manufacturing experience, 20 plus years of IP management experience as well, 20 plus years of tech development experience as well. So definitely keeping a close eye on this company and this use case. I think that this is a very significant area to focus on, specifically around Hedera and NFTs. NFTs right now are the big thing. If you are not in NFTs, you guys should definitely be doing some research on them. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about XinFin. So we do see here, what is XinFin Official trying to solve in trade finance? Have I missed anything? XDC, and we do see here, supporting SMEs inside the numbers. What is XinFin trying to solve in trade finance? Untapped markets. There is over $110 trillion of investable assets globally. However, only $3 trillion is currently traded. Global trade finance, 80%, the vast majority of global trade transactions requires financing. SMEs, exports. SMEs play a big role in global trade, yet face the biggest challenge in requiring adequate financing. SMEs rejected. 60% of SMEs trade finance requests are rejected. Without sufficient financing, SMEs are starved of working capital that can bring missed opportunities or closure. And the 1.7 trillion trade finance gap is being filled. Now, this is actually So I've been seeing a lot of confusion around the trade finance gap. When we look at this, there's actually $19 trillion that could be bridged fully within trade finance in terms of digitization and tokenization of this specific area. And I actually look forward to seeing, what XinFin could really do within this area. But we do see down here in partnership with TradeTech, XinFin is disrupting trade finance using hybrid blockchain technology to create a quick and easy frictionless solutions to successfully bridge SMEs with investors. Now, they are not the only ones focused on really incentivizing the SME, flow. Ripple is also in the SME game with their line of credit because, again, SMEs basically get disregarded. They get thrown away to the side because they are small, medium enterprises. They are not these large, massive capital giants that have a ton of, money flows. These are small, medium enterprises, but they also generate massive amounts of money. The SME market is 1.7 trillion. The global trade finance gap is 19 trillion. So you could see the percentage that SMEs make up out of that market, which you could understand why they kind of get thrown to the side. But it is also an area that could be a massive opportunity for some of these huge assets. I mean, XDC, right? XinFin is doing some pretty significant things within trade finance. And I think that this is a perfect opportunity for them to capitalize on and incentivize those SMEs, similar to what Ripple is doing with line of credit, because they also do get rejected in terms of line of credit. So I'm very excited to see what happens out of this as well, because XinFin is definitely, really building a bridge for the trade finance area. And I'm very hopeful in terms of what they are really trying to accomplish as well. Also, we did see the ICC United Kingdom announce for UK observers. This may look like a small piece of legislation, but for the world trade, this is a game changer. If we want a more inclusive trading system where more small companies can participate at lower cost, this is exactly the kind of legal reform governments must undertake. Electronic Trade Documents Bill. This is insanely bullish for XDC because Andre Casterman actually retweeted this, which tells me that there is a connection here with XinFin. I know that is a little bit of speculation, but again, when we look at things happening around trade documents within electronic trade bills, we look at digitization of these trade bills. In my opinion, that leads us back to one specific player within this market, and that is XinFin. XinFin has the perfect position in this market to be the major player around things like this. They have partnerships with Anigio. They have partnerships with the TFDI. All of those players are focused on the trade finance area, specifically around digitization and tokenization. So I'm definitely focused on this with XinFin because XinFin is still a very low cap gem in terms of its market cap. But we also do see here MAS licensed digital custodian Propine announces partnership with XinFin official XDC network XDC News. The developed solution is integrated with XinFin to serve its users with institutional grade security, fully compliant and insured custody service. This is also something that I've been watching for with Propine. Propine is very significant in terms of the amount of money that's behind this. This is all through institutional grade crypto needs. I love to see this. And when we talk about where XinFin is positioned, they are the perfect use case for institutional grade use cases around trade finance, similar to even Ripple, right? We always talk about Ripple being the institutional grade, money flow giant within this market, aka XRP being the bridge currency for institutional grade money to flow from one bank to the other across borders. That's definitely something that I've been watching as well kind of unfold. These things move I should say that they don't move very slow. It seems like they move slow, but they're actually making some pretty massive strides within these areas, specifically even around, again, trade finance, digitizing trade finance. We even look at Hedera, really kind of moving in on, sustainability and disrupting that area. They are also disrupting the metaverse. They're disrupting NFTs, everything behind the scenes slowly, because as everyone is really kind of looking at things, right, these things happen. I would say that they happen in a slow way because they're not happening like overnight. But with how fast things are actually moving on the macro scale, like in 2 years, I've watched Hedera build out a massive ecosystem. And that 2 years might seem like a long time, but for the strides that Hedera has actually made, it's not that long of a timeline. The same goes for like Ripple, right? Ripple was announcing partnership after partnership after partnership, and they still do. And it just seems like everyone thinks that these things are taking forever. But honestly, in just the last couple years alone, we've seen so many incredible announcements from a lot of these projects, and it really does show you exactly what is being built behind the scenes silently as everybody's focused on one thing, and that one thing is price. Everyone is just so focused on the price of these assets and not focused on the fundamentals and what's actually happening behind the scenes. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.